Hey guys, this is Stephanie again. I was trying not to wake up my dog. I'd say it's like midnight right now, but he's awake and now he's just laying out on the tile in the living room. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about, I guess, one of the worst days of my life, Memorial Day. And it started off with a trigger. I was triggered and I ended up, it's a hard one. I was driving. I went to AA. I had a bad AA meeting because I was like in the middle of saying like how I don't have my family, like they're not supporting me in the way I need to. And the guy was like, you can't double dip because like nobody was talking at all. So I tried to talk again, and all these people were like, yeah, you should talk. And they like, I was like, because first I was like, I hate my life. I hate my life. And I stormed out of there and I threw my keys on the ground, broke my Jeep key. Still worked, thank goodness. But two people came out and they were like, what can you do? Like one woman wanted to talk to me and she was just like, I don't know you. And I was like, I don't know you. Like she was just mean. And then this guy was a counselor and he talked to me. And he's like, can you go to a friend's house? Do you have a friend's house? And that's what she was saying too. But anyway, I was going to go to my aunt's house. And then I ended up going to my friend Heather's house. And then I was guided past the car dealership that I thought this one guy helped me out a couple years ago in my emotional crisis. And I thought he would help me. So I went there and they said he doesn't work there anymore. They told me where he worked. I went to the car dealership and just told him like I need help. Like he's like, nope, don't call the cops. He said, because I was like trying to call the cops on someone, and so I called the cops, and I knew it was going to be on myself because I already tried to call the cops on the other person, and I went ahead and knew I was going to go to jail. I ran out of gas. I ran out of money. I threw my phone already at my sister's house on the pavement. So I went there. Ran out of gas, ran out of money. I needed help. So I decided to go to jail instead of going to the CRC because the CRC is awful. And it's awful. This crisis response center. So, and instead I went to jail, and the guy that transported me in the cop's car was really nice. He was really cool. The guy that testified me in my court eventually was not nice. The one that wasn't there, he wasn't even standing there with me the whole time. He would like lied in court, just making stuff up. But anyway, this guy I went to, he transferred me to jail. He's like, are you sure you don't want to go anywhere else? And I was like, I can't go to the CRC. I just can't. I had a bad experience 4 years ago. I was hit on the head with a phone. I mean, they're awful there. They like hit people, they grab people, they give people Haldol. If you go to the CRC without trauma, you're gonna have trauma when you leave. It's that bad. Anyway, so I went to jail. Well, I was handcuffed in the back. It was awful because he was in like an older cop car. It was like so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. But he was like, okay, we talked the whole way. We were really cool. He's like, you're a cool person. I was like, you're a cool person too. And then we went to jail, and I didn't have to stay in jail. I just had to get my court date. And then I could get free and call anybody. And he's like, we get there and he's like, are you sure you don't want me to take you somewhere? And I was like, no, I'll call somebody. I'm sure someone will pick me up. But I called people and nobody picked me up. A good friend of mine was going to pick me up, I think, but it was too late. I left a message for my cousin who was, I don't think she was working, and she didn't get the message till too late. And the other girl was going to come find me, but it was too late. So I walked to I sat in the car with this really nice girl where she let me use her phone because there was like a payphone type phone outside, but it was like really hard to use. It was not working. I know how to use a payphone, but it was just not working good. So she let me sit in her car. She was waiting for her boyfriend. That was really nice. She let me call a bunch of people. I called my brother, my sister, my Aunt Val. My dad was in Chicago. If my dad was there, he would have definitely picked me up. He would have said, I'll be there, Stephanie. I'll be there. Like, just I'll come get you. But instead, I walked, after no one came to pick me up, I walked to the Circle K down the street or whatever it's called, Quick Mart, and I needed water. I was so tired. I didn't eat all day. The firefighters, I flagged down firefighters. Well, first, this one guy in the store bought me a big water. That was really nice. And then I went to flag down the firefighters. And they came, because I saw the fire truck, engine 15. They came over. They were kind of douchebags, to be honest. The one was kind of a total douchebag. He was got a $20 bill out and was like, hey, you guys want anything? You guys want anything? And we got some fucking, excuse me, I don't know if I can talk, I can cuss on here. He got some energy drinks for them. And then I told him about, who my brother is, that my brother's third generation captain. He was like, oh, is that your cousin over there? Well, I won't get into that. My other cousin that lives with my grandma. But anyway, and I just feel like he had no empathy towards me. I was like, do you not know who I am? Thinking in my head, so they called my brother. My brother said to go to the CRC. And I was like, this is what I've been avoiding. So I ran away from them. I said, my grandfather's very disappointed in you. My grandfather is the fire chief. That is one of my strongest angels. When I've been going like this, grabbing my arm, my tattoo that says life is tough, but so am I. I've been grabbing it, and that's my grandpa's got me. All my angels got me. God's got me. But I ran away, and I went up the street, and I knocked on this random door, and it was a real nice 16-year-old kid. And I called my cousin again, but she didn't answer. So I left a message, said where I was, and then I continued to walk up the street a little bit, and different cops came, and 2 cops came and stopped. And I asked the guy if he got the call from the firefighters, if that's how he called, and he's like, no, he just went like that because he was guided by God to get me. But anyway, I went to the CRC. So basically, that cop was really nice. I didn't have to be handcuffed or anything. But I mean, if he could, I wish he could drive me all the way across town. But I live on the east side, and I was way on the west side. So I'm sure he would have if he could have. But I went to the CRC. He was thinking oh, just go there, tell them you're okay, just talk to them, and then you'll be able to leave. And I thought maybe I could get a taxi voucher or something. And I didn't. I got stuck at the CRC because I hadn't taken my meds in 3 days. From the Sonora Psych Hospital. I thought I could cold turkey them because it was not enough time has gone by. But it is really important to talk to a doctor to detox or to get off of medications or to change medications. And so anyway, I went to the CRC. I had some catastrophic thinking while I was there. But the next night, I went to talk to this guy named Stefan there. And I said, you don't belong in this field. You have no empathy. And he said, he grabbed my arms. He grabbed both of my arms. I had bruises on my forearms, completely bruises up for a week. He grabbed my arms and I said, what's your name? What's your name? I was so pissed. I wanted to know who that was. And he just kept grabbing, squeezing harder and harder. And I think he got an abrasion on my arm. Well, he did. He cut the skin. He cut the skin about 2 or 3 inches and with his nails. And then I tried to back, go like this, a little bit to push back. And then he put me against the wall and pushed harder. And then they grabbed both of my arms. He grabbed the right arm. Another guy grabbed the left arm. He would have dislocated my arm if he could have. I mean, he pulled so hard. I dropped to my knees. He's like, get up. So I got up and went to the, they dragged me to the room. I was just couldn't get there fast enough. It hurt so bad. And then they had to give me the shot of Haldol, Ativan, and Benadryl, the cocktail. So that place is awful. I really wanted to avoid it. If you can avoid it at all costs, avoid it in Tucson, the Crisis Response Center. I mean, they are really awful. Anyone that you've talked to there will tell you a story about how they either grab them or caused them. And then they, of course, they told me it was my fault. They of course they said it's that I tried to hit them first. And so they went ahead and petitioned me to the behavioral health, Palo Verde Behavioral Health. And that's why I was petitioned, and that's why I was court ordered, because they wrote in their report that I tried to hit them first and I was combative. And that's exactly what happened when I was 22. So I'm just really, really, really disappointed in the system. I'm disappointed in the system. Excuse me, I can't talk again. In the system, I'm disappointed because it should be better. It should be better. And it is better most places, but that place is awful. And I've heard that the CBI, I think it's called, is really bad too. So, and also even the Banner one is bad, but they have good food. I heard I heard they have good food, but there's like no help there. So anyway, resources again are NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. Palo Verde is a good hospital. They just sometimes over medicate and will have you there a little bit too long. But Sonora is a good hospital. If you need help, if you need to get stabilized on your meds and there's no other way, try to go to Palo Verde or Sonora. If not, contact your doctor and just your therapist, contact your resources, and there's lots of peer support specialists. That's what I have. I have my peer support specialist degree. There's some at Kodak, Cope. If you go to one of those places, contact your peer support specialist or your recovery coach. If you think you're having a hard time, they'll guide you through it. Okay? Thank you so much. Sorry, this was a downer again, and I feel like I am still pretty dull with the pills. I feel like I'm really heavily drugged out, but that's because I went to Palo Verde and she overly medicated me, and she didn't really pay attention to my PTSD at all. She's just treating me for psychosis, because she thought I was psychosis and having delusions. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Have a good night. I'm going to go back to sleep. Hopefully it's 12:22, or no, it's 12:29 minutes. Anyway, it's 12:21 a.m. Oh, it's almost 12:22, which is 2:22 is a good number. So I'll close it at 2:22. 2:22 means that you're starting over. I think I may have already mentioned this, that you're starting over, that you found your soulmate, and maybe I just mentioned that on my Facebook. But anyway, it's 12:22, 2:22, and starting over, fresh start. Don't want to get lipstick on my teeth. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys. Have a good night. Peace, love.